Alright guys, so I've been waiting for this for probably 4 to 5 years since the CMP finally announced that they were actually doing this. So the government has about 100,000 of these in surplus right now, and they're going to start rolling them out to the CMP, about 10,000 at a time, but we don't really know if that's going to keep happening for the rest of these years, and CMP doesn't know either. So this is their trial period, and they were supposed to get 10,000 this year, but they got around 8,000 or 9,000. 20,000 people around applied for the lottery, and I was pulled at number 2,223. I know they started calling people in November of 2018, and they called me about 5 or 6 days ago, and they for payment information, and then I got a order notification or a shipment notification the same day, and then the day after was at my FFL. So pretty crazy, pretty fast shipping. On the phone they said that it would take up to 60 days, but it came really quick. So they don't send you any tracking information or any info on the pistol itself. They just send this in a nice hard case. Sorry, I'm really close. I'd rather be close than far away for the details. But a good case, a cleaning rod, you know, all the regular CMP certifications that you'll get with all the Garands. But I'm pretty happy about this one. I really wanted well, obviously, everyone wants a Union switch or signal or, a Singer or something, but they have the regular 1911s and the A1s, and we'll see what they start throwing up on the auction site or not. But this is a Remington Rand from 1943. This is a Type 2, and they made 85,000 Type 2s out of, I think the total production was 877,000 and a little bit of change. But most of these pistols, I would probably say all of them have been reparkerized, that they're gonna ship to us and not be on the auction site. But the Type 2, the little markings, I mean, the Type 2s, they have the writing all the way down, and the Type 3, it ends closer to here. Type 1, it'll have New York spelled out, and those are really the only differences on those. That's how you can tell them apart. But it does have the FJA right here stamped, so you know it's a Remington Rand. Lower frame or receiver. So the FJA is the ordnance inspector. Is Colonel Frank J. Atwood, and he inspected the Rands and also the Ithacas. And you also have you can see it, the proof mark here. There's another proof mark up here. On the top, it does have the correct checkered slide release and the safety and the mag release. The mainspring housing is wrong. That's from a later model. It should be a small checkered mainspring housing. And also, you can kind of make the ordnance stamp out with the cross cannons. It is right under approximately 955,000 serial number. They started they started resuming production because they were having some issues with parts fitment, and they slowed it down. And they restarted around 955, but I think that this could probably be around in it. There should be an NO here, but it's either worn down or I can't see it. Some of these markings are a little worn. It does have an SA mark here, which I've seen them usually over here, and then they'll have the date of Arsenal Rebuild. Really, the only time I see them over here is it is a Springfield Arsenal Rebuild, but I usually see them on the National Match pistols that were built at Springfield in the 50s and 60s, and I hardly ever see them on non-national match pistols. So I'm not saying it is a national match or it isn't, but it also does have a replacement Colt barrel. I know that some of these earlier ones came with cold barrels, but this one, the stamping on it is likely a 1950s production that they bought. They bought a bunch of cold parts in the 50s for re-arsenaling. So it falls in the years of the matches. I just can't prove it, so it is what it is. And obviously this is all Parkerized. A lot of the times, originally this would be the Dew Light Blue finish, and some of the smaller parts, they would be Parkerized, but it wouldn't be completely parked. And but pretty happy with the pistol altogether. The grips also, they're wrong. They should be ringless. Shouldn't have these little reinforcement rings on it. But obviously it's a rebuild, so it's seen its fair share of action, if you'd call it. But it most definitely could have. I mean, it could have been in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and it could have been in the special operations up until 86 when they retired them, or it could have just been as a trainer. Who knows? But it's definitely been worn out once or twice, so it's seen its fair share, and it is really tight. There's really no slide movement. The barrel bushing is really tight. There's no movement in the barrel, so it's definitely a nice pistol. And right now they only have when I ordered the CMP, so they only had the service grades. So this is what a typical service grade will be. And before all this craziness, they were saying that they would have rack grades, field grades, and the service grades, and then the auction grade. So the prices were $850, $950, and $1,050. So this was $1,050, which, I mean, it is what it is. It's definitely a great shape pistol. It's not as collectible as I would say an original one, but they still have a place in history. Just showing the evolution of them through their service. So I really like that story of it, and altogether, it's been this will be a fun one to shoot. Let's see if I get this apart. Show the insides. All right. So, all right. I mean, after the rebuild, it definitely looks like it hasn't been used much, if at all. I would think that it would have a lot more wear on it, but it is a really great condition. It should have a government contract order stamp here, a G, but I mean it's kind of there, barely. But if anyone has any more info on these, let me know, because I'm just still trying to piece it all together. And I don't know if the hammer's correct. I mean, it does have the small checkering, but I know that they went to wider ones later on, so it could be correct. And I would probably say probably correct. But I really wish the stampings were a little more defined, but they're not bad. The slide itself is really great condition too. You could see it does have some some mill marks on it on the dust cover. So, I mean, by the end of the war, these were the Remington Rands themselves. Yeah, you know, there's no C on here for commercial or anything. But, like I was saying, by the end of the war, these were the best made 1911s. And they also made the most of them because their productions, the way they were producing these. And that's why a lot of people use the Remington Rand receivers and the frames to build national match pistols on. So that's another reason why I'm kind of curious about that stamping. Now the fun part. There we go. Don't get the idiot scratch. You'll be okay. So there it is, guys. Just wanted to make a quick one. I gotta go drive my ass about an hour and a half away for school, for work, but I got up early enough and figured I'd make a quick video on it. The trigger on it is also obviously all 1911. Great trigger. And it also came with one magazine. Yes, this is this would be an 092. This would be a Checkmate. 7-round Checkmate magazine. It does have a tiny bit of rust on it right here, but whatever. I mean, it's not like I'm going to have one magazine for this. I have a few, but operationally, everything seems to work fine. I hopefully will shoot it today after class if I can sneak out. I'll be staying down there for the night. So I think there's a range close enough. But there it is, guys. If you try to figure out what you're going to expect when you get them, it should be something like this. The other videos on here I've seen have been the same. There was one Remington Rand. It was a Type 3, though. But I wish we could order more, but they're keeping them one each lifetime right now. That's what the lady said on the phone. But hopefully that'll change. And once everyone that wants one gets one, you know, seems right now that there's only 20,000 people that want them, and so we'll have 80,000 more pistols to buy, I'm hoping. But there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Any questions or, you know, any info on this thing, especially that SA mark, it'd be appreciated. Thanks.